Starting the season, Loveland was picked as a dark horse in 4A, and all of a sudden, 3 quick losses for the Lobos. If you look now, 2 quick wins, I suppose. I'm Phil Torino, joined now by the coach of the Lobos, Jared Sanderson, and thanks very much for the time. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you. Yeah.
Loveland had a very similar start last year that ended up turning things around very, very well to make the playoffs and advance to the second round. I'm very intrigued by the progress that Loveland has made, and I'd love to start actually with your offensive line. It's an area that, when the year began, was perhaps not getting the most consistent play. Since I've been following the team, I have seen progress. How have you observed that group?
They really have. They've progressed well. I've said this before. We had four new faces up there, 4 new kids, and anytime you have a group like an offensive line group, they have to work together so well, and there's so many different calls that they have to make, and just throughout the games, we've got some guys in place, and barring some injuries, we feel like we're starting to develop some good chemistry with those guys, and they're understanding the scheme and the speed of the game. I think we go out that first game against Muleshoe, and they're coming from every direction, right. and a lot of those guys just weren't used to the speed of the game. And the more that we've progressed through this, the better they've gotten.
Now, Nick Gerber's stats haven't necessarily taken a hit, even though in the beginning he maybe was getting chased around a bit. When we published the stat leaders last week, he was still, I believe, 3rd presently. What about his ability to get around? I mean, is he getting those numbers because he can stay alive?
Yeah, he does a great job of extending plays, and he always has. He did last year as a sophomore, and he's really progressed in that area too. I think he's reading the field a lot better this year. Especially now from start to week 6, he's really seeing the field. He's reading defenses, but like I said, he has gotten better protection up front. Those guys have gotten better, but his ability to extend plays, receivers have really good chemistry with him. They work off of him really well, and it makes it for a tough matchup.
Just to bring you up to speed now with the plays that we're going to start. Against Bushland last week, Loveland trails by 4. You get the ball back here, 1:07 left. This is the final drive that culminates with a pretty exciting play. So let's. What are you expecting here, first of all, as you?
Well, we knew that they were going to be in a prevent defense. We still with a minute 7. They're playing up, but they're still going to be in a cover 4 look with a backer in the middle, and so they've got 5 trying to spread the field and not let anything over the top. We knew that we had to throw the ball underneath and get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Okay.
Throw a little hitch to Tannen out there, and he gets first down, does a good job of getting out of bounds to stop the clock. Good protection up front. We did go to our empty formation here, get another receiver on the field, and try to spread the field ourselves. But we work 2-minute drills all the time. Now you don't really want to be a minute 7 going 70 yards, but at the same time you have worked it, you have prepared for it, and so our kids understand the game as far as we have to get out of bounds, we've got to get first downs, and really proud of them for they just didn't panic. They just went out there and did their job.
This is Elliott, I believe. Right. Does his route help at all with what's there?
Well, it does. It holds that corner just a little bit. We've got one guy to miss, and we got one guy there to try to get by to get a gain out of the play.
Okay.
We go into first down, second play of the drive. We try to similar routes, and we had an incomplete pass, which good thing about that is it stops the clock. We can regroup. We're not in a real big hurry to get lined up like you would be if the clock was running. So, but we had an incomplete pass there, which was really okay.
Was Kenton Williams getting this much space the entire night?
No, not really. He. People adjust to him. He's a 6'5" kid, and there's not a lot of 6'5" DBs, and so people put they'll bring a safety over and almost double team. And they'll work a backer underneath him. A lot of times when he's on the single side, if we have trips away from him, they try to protect themselves on the backside. Down, I think we go. He throws this one away. Right here. I'm sorry, he runs. Got to get out of bounds. Yeah, a little scramble drill. he's reading the field. Nothing's there, and this is what Nick does a really good job of. He's a smart kid. He understands that we got to get out of bounds, try to go get as many yards as you can, and step out of bounds, stop the clock. So it's a good job. Defensive line, that last play is moving around, trying to confuse our protection a little bit, and we just got to keep working. We saw it had some cushion over the middle there with that inside receiver, so we decided to take a shot with him, and felt like if we got a first down, that we could line up and run another play.
Is that Hearn?
That's Hearn, Daniel Hearn. Yep. He's had a couple of good nights playing, in Denver City, and then last week he had a good night. So, we're in our hurry up now. Clock stops, move the chains, and then we got to run a play in a hurry. It's a good little game for us. Trying to keep things alive. Don't ever take a sack in 2 minutes. It's a 101, and he does a good job right there. Just throwing the ball away and let us snap it again. Right here, we took a shot to the end zone, and it was incomplete. Tandon tried to come up with it, and it was an incomplete pass, which again stopped the clock for us. So it wasn't a bad thing. And moving a little bit up front. Shot. We believe we called timeout right here. So we knew we needed to get a first down. I think it's second down here. We need to get a first down and move the chains, get a little closer to the end zone. And Jeff does a great job of this right here. He can really use his body well. He gets his hands out. He's great from catch to tuck. He does a good job of that. And he's a guy that we throw a lot of hitches, a lot of short stuff to, because he can secure the ball quickly. It's a good job driving off the ball, not turning around too early where the defender can drive on it. Does a good job. And we have one timeout left. Pocket collapses. Those guys did a good job. They just kept coming after us, and they're coached well. I mean, they did a great job, Friday night, and Coach Thomas does a good job up there. And
so Nick had the awareness right away. Had he been in communication that was going to happen, or?
No, that's just Nick being a good, smart football player. I think you'll probably see us running down too. I don't know if it's on film, but that's just being smart. He knew we had one timeout left, and knew that we needed to stop the clock, give ourselves a chance. We go through a couple of timeouts here with Bushland, talk about some things. We have Kenton over here right now. We went quads. We knew we were going to take a shot, and I think they're fixing the clock. It had 1.7 seconds, and they changed it to 2 seconds. So I don't know, but anyways, they're getting that fixed, and then I think they take a timeout the next play. Yep, timeout. So we've got Kenton over here and Hearn over here right now, and what we end up doing on the next one is we flip those guys. You think 6'5" kid, throw it up to him. But what we were trying to do was take Hearn across the field and Kenton across the field, trying to pull some defenders with them. And anyways, grace of God, we come down with it. And there's a lot of luck involved, and that just doesn't happen very often. But proud that we have the kids that can protect, and a kid that can throw it down there, and a kid that can catch it.
So you kept Williams completely on this side, or does he eventually find
he works his way over there?
Okay.
Yeah, he and Hearn cross.
Okay.
We're trying to create some get some bodies in there for them to draw some defenders that way. But they're all standing on the goal line. You know, it's just doesn't happen.
From your perspective, does it look like Nick's about to go down in someplace there?
No, he knew that we were going to throw that, and he knew that he had to get the ball out.
Because they look awfully close to making contact, but I guess from this angle.
Yeah, he's outside. Are you talking about the guy getting
him? Yeah, both of these players.
Yeah, he's outside of him. I don't know. Our protection just pushed him wide enough to allow him to step up and throw, get his feet set, and throw the ball. And you know, Jeff just, like I said, just came. He made a play on it. We called our last time out. You know, before this, we said somebody's going to have to step up and make a play. We're going to chunk it down there and see what happens. And
with this group of kids, have you had a game like this settled at all with them in a similar fashion with this group?
No, not like this. We've had some close games. You know, if you go back to last year, which the only one that we're missing, you know, we added Kenton and Hearn didn't play a lot of offense last year. He did play some, but we had Jones, Trenton Jones, and out there, and we had some tight ball games with Estacado. We had tight ball games with Borger. We're down 14 in the fourth quarter to Borger and go back and tie them up and end up winning in overtime. And then Pampa game, same situation. It was, who could outscore who, and we went into overtime with them and ended up on top. So I mean, we have had a little practice at it, but nothing like this. So
how is this group right now in terms of the players that returned? Because you had a similar start last year to this.
Yeah.
How are they right now moving into? There's obviously a lot of promise in this district. Seminole starting quarterback is out.
Yeah.
Estacado has struggled. There will definitely be competition in the district. Pampa has looked very sharp.
Right.
But how are the kids heading into this?
They're good, and I told them, our focus has to be on us, and we have to improve every day. It can't be worried about, who's injured and who's struggling. It's got to be about us and figuring out a way for us to get better. I think that's our main focus. But they're excited. I mean, just for for a group to go out and actually do this, it boosts your confidence a little bit. And but at the same time, you got to go to work every day and you got to improve every day, because I'm going to tell you, we're going to get everybody's best shot. And I hope, that's the expectation, and they're going to get ours. So we just got to work to improve and see what happens.
Have the kids been beaming all week since that happened?
A little bit, and I told them Monday, if they're still talking about what they did yesterday, they hadn't done much today. That old quote. So we've got to, like I said, we've got to turn the page just like we do after every play and refocus and get ready for the task at hand. And we're starting a clean slate. Everybody is, and that's the way we got to look at it.
Level-end coach Jared Sanderson, thanks very much for the time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
I'm Phil Torino, and thanks very much for watching the Lone Star Varsity Coaches Show.